Hadi bakalım dostlar, Baldur's Gate maceramızın muhtemelen final bölümüyle birlikteyiz. Şimdi tek tek tüm karakterlerle konuşacağız dostlar. Bakalım nasıl bir final bizleri bekliyor. Bu muhtemelen oyunun iyi sonu. Tam emin olmamakla birlikte sizlerle birlikte deneyimleyeceğim ben de. Evet, gölge yüreğe yürümeye devam edebiliriz. Bir tanrı olduktan sonra bile. Gölge yüreğin saçlarıyla bizim ten rengimizin uyumuna bakar mısınız?
You feel a little more substantial than before. Less camping and scrounging off the land, I take it. I'm not entirely sure I'd agree. In fact, I found a nice meadow not far from where I live now. Every now and again, I'll spend the night there. For old time's sake. I'm glad you seem well. Trudy. I had no doubt. But I'm glad to hear you say it all the same.
Peki.
I found a little cottage. Abandoned, half ruined. There's a lot of such places to be found thanks to the Absolute's armies. I've been making it my own. You can come as soon as you please, so long as the lodgers approve of you. 4 dogs, 8 cats, 9 chickens, 6 pigeons, 4 sheep, a little cow named Daphne, a squirrel who's far too clever for her own good, and a wolf cub I found orphaned in some woods. He's just a frightened little pup. He has no idea what he'll grow up to be. And maybe, with me there to guide him, who knows what he'll become. It's amazing what can happen with the right nurturing. I've called him Buttons, because he has different colored eyes like buttons on a ragdoll. Healing. Learning to live again. It's hard to think of all that was robbed from them, but they're intent on making every day count for double. My mother's mind still drifts every now and again, but she has more good days than not so good days. She taught me her recipe for apple and plum pie, and when I tasted it, I actually remembered it from when I was a little girl. Some things can't be taken from you, it seems. Father's making himself useful, helping me fix up the cottage and caring for the animals. His wolf form is very useful in helping Buttons to acclimatize. I think part of him wishes I'd ended up as a lycanthrope as well. Sorry, I'm rambling. Family life and pastry recipes probably aren't the most interesting.
Yo, gayet de hoş bir konuşma bence.
Historic reunion. Couldn't have said it better myself. Just be sure to take your own advice whenever you can. You've earned it. Must I? You presume a great deal.
Bak bak bak.
I'm joking. Of course I want to know. Tell me all. Do you ever rest? think of all those poor, budding adventurers looking to make a name for themselves. Take some time off and give them a chance, why don't you? Hopefully these meetups will become a regular occurrence. It's not that I miss the tadpoles, but at least it brought us together. Now we've got to make the extra effort ourselves.
Bir doğa kadar uzağım. Güzelmiş.
I'm sure we will, but let's be proactive about it all the same. We're more than capable. After all, we've faced down bigger threats than wrangling together a few social calendars. Oh, before you go, how does a red dragon plan their day? They don't. They just wing it. Sorry. My father's got years of terrible jokes stocked up that he never got to tell me when I was younger, but lucky for him, I never heard them. And seemingly I am easily amused.
Belki tanrı olduğumuz içindir ama
I know. I would have been an open book to you in no time. But don't pretend you didn't like the mystery. Go on. You've got mingling to do.
beklediğim konuşma tam bu değildi aslında. Bilmiyorum. Hani o arada içtiği iksirle mi duruyor lan hala diyeceğim. Efendilerin ışığı.
I'm going to enjoy myself, and you can't stop me. Back to the shadows with you.
Peki. Laser'la bir konuşalım bakalım.
For 2 months I trained the Knights of the Comet. For 2 more I skewered Kithraki bellies. And for 2 more yet, I traveled through limbo. But to see your face, it brings me even more pleasure than taking a Royal Inquisitor's head.
Limbo, she'd said. A plane of chaos where you might drink fire like water, where you might breathe ice instead of air.
It's nice to hear it. It's taken a dozen Gish's talents, a few stolen psi crystals, and 2 10 days of effort to conjure my projection. Worth it, I'd say. I miss this place. This... Fey Run.
Fey Run. Peki.
Shractalor.
Shractalor. You recall the name. The capital city of the Githzerai, and the home of their immortal god king, Zerith Menya Agith.
Our Gish sent word of the rebellion to Minyara through the cosmos. He's agreed to parley. It's fallen to me to secure an alliance. Exactly the reaction I expected. My blade is keen as ever. But it was you who showed me that a proper victory doesn't always require a razor-sharp edge. Sometimes, a sincere plea is more persuasive than a dagger against the neck. Minyara Gith is an ascetic. He reached out in good faith. This is his way. It is in this spirit that I must meet him. And if he refuses, I carry on. Gravity pulls me in but one direction. I am the comet. I will not rest until I burn Vlaakith's bones to ash and smash her phylactery to pieces. My people will be free. But you've heard that refrain before. Zealous, bossy, insistent. All part and parcel of my undeniable charm. Soon, When the comet has risen, when the Lich Queen has crumbled to
Peki.
dust.
Bu oyunun devamı gelir dostlar. Yine Larian Studios'a mı yaptırırlar onu bilmiyorum. Muhtemelen bu adamlara yaptırırlar ama Baldur Gate 4'ü görürüz. Yakın bir zamanda değil ama görürüz yani.
So it has, and a fine man the hatchling will be. I call him Zan. Freedom. He is with the mages of Zambardim. I trust his care to no one else. Zan's destiny will be his own to
Yumurtamız da çatlamış, hatırlıyor musunuz?
Poet, explorer, scholar. His
Manastırdan almıştık yumurtayı. Ve vermemiştim. Bu loncaya mı ne? Loncadan biri istemişti, para karşılığında vermemiştik. Peki. Lazel. Şu eski dostları da bir sevelim ama değil mi? Aha. Ya hayvanlarla konuşma olayımız olsa çok tatlı olacaktı ama yok. Büyülerine bakmadım gerçi ben. Bu tanrı olduktan sonra belki konuşabiliyordur hayvanlarla. Astral prizma. Nereden bulduysa.
Scratch barks merrily in something like agreement. He whines. Let's talk, more throw.
Peki. Hadi şunu bir sevelim. O astral prizmayı iyi aldık mı üzerimize? Ulan Fay'ın ölüm kitabı da burada hala. Peki. Hayvanlarla konuş gibi bir olayı var mı? Yok. Ölülerle konuş var. İlahi şenlik. Aa, görüyor musunuz Tanrı olduktan sonra öğrendiği saldırıları? Vay vay vay. İlginçmiş. Belki merak edenleriniz olur. Şöyle bir inceleye basıp gösterebilirim size. Puanlarını falan. Şimdi konuşmaya devam. Şu Vulu'yla bir konuşalım bakalım.
My dear friend, it's been an age, has it not? You're looking very well indeed.
Benim 40 dakikayı bulur dostlar bunlarla diyaloglar.
To see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post. Oh, I wouldn't bother you with such things during a party. And anyway, I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even bother with the release form. You might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. What do you think?
Hero and Me.
I knew you would.
Neyse kırmayacağım kimseyi, üzmeyeceğim. O kadar badire atlattık.
Or better yet, I'll write a draft and you can just sign your name. Better still, I'll sign it for you. Your success really has been wonderful for my reputation. But you mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend. You've many friends to chat to, and I'd love to listen in.
Peki. Şimdi gel bakalım buraya Karlak.
Soldier, how glad I am to see you again. I'd started to wonder if I ever would. I'm sorry I haven't reached out. I guess I wasn't sure what you'd make of me. I've changed so much. But then again, you have too. I can relate in my own way. Our victory against the Dead Three changed everything. For example, my favorite food used to be mutton chops. Do you know what it is now? Brains, soldier. Brains. I thought I was good at cracking skulls before. Now I've got it down to something of a science. Or maybe more of a religion. I've made arrangements with a healer in the city. When a patient is beyond saving, but still able to speak for themselves, they're offered a choice. They can go as nature intends to take them, or when they're ready.
Bu arada Karlak hala yanıyor, farkında mısınız?
Their affairs settled and
Yani ilitife dönüşmüş olmasına rağmen hala alevler çıkıyor etrafından.
Relieve them. When I consume their brains, I am nourished by much more than the physical nutrition. Their memories, from birth to death, become part of me. I've lived hundreds of childhoods, first loves, marriages, feuds and friendships. I remember them all. And in this way, we all live on together. Thanks, soldier. It's good to see you looking so well. And now that we've connected again, don't be a stranger. Enjoy the night, my friend. I know I will.
Peki. Ya Karlak biraz üzünlü oldu be. Ne düşünüyorsunuz?
Breathe deep, Pooh. The smell of heroes sings from every stone in this place. To meet again where your journey began, my friend. An honor. For Minsk and his hamster both. Oh, and for Happy also.
Yes. Honored, of course.
Happy kimmiş ya?
See how your very presence snatches the breath from his chest? And it is no wonder. It is just this day that Happy learned of your legend, while we gazed down upon the very city you saved.
He dangled me from the high hall, upside down, for 2 hours.
The guild should not go creeping in high places if they do not have the stomach for them, hmm? It is well for Happy the strange portal appeared when it did. Minsk's arm was growing aksome.
Ya bu herifle keşke başta tanışsaydı. Çok keyifli bir karaktermiş bu.
So I have. Though it is a piece made more from blade and boot than it is any sense of brotherhood. 9 fingers forbade any looting of the Illithid's fleshy vessels. And so Minsk guards what remains of the battle site. Even from her. But where Minsk might once have thrown any sneaking scoundrels from the tower top, now I tell them of you. How you ruled the wickedness within. How they might do the same.
Yes, I'll rule it. I'll be better.
No, of course. It is still for Boo to decide if they live or die.
Oh, gods.
But enough, my friend! I cannot tell your tale if I do not know the whole of it. Minsk and Boo would know where you have been, what you have done. And yet, you still make it sound so boring. Truly, God Gale, Minsk is glad to see you have not changed one bit.
Hırs tanrısı. Biraz ilginç olmuş. Peki.
Answer not. for his ambitions to be realized. The world is not ready.
Gerçi ama Gale'ın karakterine uygun ya.
Now, halfling, we will not have you embarrassing him in front of his
Çünkü
friends.
hikayesinde o karnındaki patlayan zımbırtı falan olayı bu hırsıyla alakalıydı aslında. O büyüye ağa dokunmak istiyor bir şekilde. Karsus tacı yüzünden başına bunlar gelmişti. Sonunda da elde ediyor. Karsus tacı değil de Karsus'un büyüsünün peşine düşüyordu galiba. Öyle hatırlıyorum. Yanlış hatırlıyor olabilirim.
Astarion, who is banished by the sun itself for fear his Spanish soul might outshine it. We visit him much down in the dark places, though he often moves his lair without remembering to tell me square. Shadowheart, two gods dogged at her soul, but she managed to keep it all for herself in the end. Wait, Boo, did she do something with her hair? Halsin, Archdruid of Arch somewhere. He is a much better man than he smells. And there, the champion of having tentacles, Karlak. She was once very tall and strong like Minsk, but we still like her as she is. And finally, Jahira. If this is a name you do not already know, then not even Boo can save you. Study them well, sneak thief, for the best among them will be a guide for your guild. Heroes who put the city before themselves, who never falter in their duty. And more than this, who never arrive to a party without even a gift for the host.
But wait!
Go, my friend. Be among our friends. There is much work yet to be done before this.
Minsk'e uzun bir konuşma hazırlamışlar. Şeyler daha kısaydı. Jahira ile konuşalım.
Well now, you can make yourself presentable when you have a mind to. How nice to be understood again. I have spent the past months bickering with builders and bankers, all to restore the city exactly as it was. Same twisting alleys for purse pickers, same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon, same cisterns overflowing, huh? Baldurians simply get on with it. Stubbornness, civic spirit, plain stupidity. Perhaps all three, but nothing I will sniff at any longer. Harpers have
Bu arada
come from
bu ay yavrumuz da
everywhere
kocaman
over
oldu,
the
görüyorsunuz değil mi?
Farmers, masons, healers. My own son Jord has been wooed to their ranks. Already he plans crop cycles in Worm's Crossing. Not so for my daughter. Ryan's rejoined the Flaming Fist. Temporarily, you understand. To organize the craftsmen. Though she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing 8 ones. They might learn a thing or two if they don't expel her. Again. Honestly, much more sitting down than I'd like. Mistake me not. There is still much to be done. Plans to make, maps to be frowned over. But my children are more than capable of doing it. Even the young ones tire of me peeking over their shoulders. This night offers them a brief respite from me at least. And this place, now I look at it, it is where you all spent your first night together, no? A fine spot for an adventure to begin. A fine spot indeed. Just a little wander, perhaps, to stretch the legs.
Peki.
I'll find my way back, as I always do. I admit defeat. Baldur's Gate is my home. But that is the thing about home.
Hepsine de çok güzel kıyafetler
The only
giydirilmemiş
way
mi
to see
ya?
it clearly is to leave. And look back. For a little while at least. For all your travels, I hope you have arrived where you want to be. Home. Whatever that means to you. Ah, sentiment. With the greatest affection, I can think of better ways to sour our stomachs. I must inspect the refreshments. You'll never know. Some ne'er-do-well might have tampered with the wine.
O serserinin teki şey olabilir, Halsin olabilir ya. Şu boğayımızı da bir sevelim ya. Kocaman olmuş ya.
He looks coyly at the ground, suddenly shy. He snaps the air and wiggles. He's either miming fighting a many-limbed creature or dancing.
Ya hayvanlarla konuşu olayı olmayınca hiç tadı olmadı bunların ya.
He's
Kesinlikle.
had plenty of adventures without you.
Gölge yürek. Gölge yürek ilgilensin ya, Halsin değil.
The joy in the owlbear's eyes is clear. He longs for a home and would love to stay with Shadowheart.
Peki. Halsin. Will gitti bir yere oturdu galiba. En sonunda Astarion'la Will'ı bırakacağım.
Inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed endless without your company. But now our paths cross once more. Just as I hoped they would, more like. The Oak Father has been kind to me this past while. Yet I cannot forget the bond we all forged together. It is one that can weather any distance, any passage of time. I know it can, for I feel the longing for old friends in my heart each day. I always do. Should I ever decline, assume a doppelganger has taken my place.
Oğlum bize yürüme de.
That was more than worth the wait. Apologies. You can probably understand my eagerness. I shall be as gentle as a feather next time. Now, we have much to catch up on. Do not allow me to ramble on.
Lan gölge yürekli şöyle bir diyaloğa girişemedim ya. Bununla yürüsem yürüyeceğim ya. Böyle bir şey olabilir mi ya?
In that case, very well. Our community grows rapidly. In 6 months, we have turned what was once a shadowy wasteland into a true home for all. In another 6 months, I would wager the scars of the past will be entirely invisible, even to those who remember them. The old masonry of Moonrise Towers and Rythwin have been repurposed into new homes, and the land is rich with harvests and bountiful trees. Nature and civilization are in harmony.
Oraya geri dönmüş
Stronger
galiba.
together. In a manner of speaking, yes. Though it is a more complex, evolving beast than I could ever have anticipated. True balance is no simple, fixed thing. I see that now. We welcome folk from all walks of life. Anyone who wishes for a new start. Naturally, it can be chaotic at times, but it is a thrilling sort of chaos. It thrives in ways I could never have dreamed of. As am I. I may age more slowly than most, but I do believe I've gained some new laughter lines of late. Now, please, tell me all, and spare no details. I shall not lie. I have an ulterior motive in wishing to hear all. It is the children, you see, my charges. Their appetite for bedtime tales is greater than I could ever have anticipated. Another story, Daddy Halsin. Another is the chorus that greets me each nightfall. They have all but exhausted my repertoire in but a few short months. No mean feat given the lifetime I have lived.
Bizden hikayeyi alıp çocuklara satacak.
Material, please. My reputation is at stake. I am all ears, though I never cared for that phrase. A rather unsettling image. You are truly incapable of disappointing. The children shall be wrapped, and have no fear. All due credit shall be given to the tale's originator. Now, it would be cruel of me to hoard you all to myself for the evening, as much as I would like to. I shall leave you to the others for now, unless there was anything else.
Bu arada
Quite often.
bu şeyleri de soralım. O çocuklara ne oldu
But
hakikaten?
with so many playmates to avail of, they are far from strangers.
Biri ikiye bölünmüştü
They ask
falan.
after you often. What you did for them will never be forgotten. I can see it in the land all around me. But more importantly, I see it in their faces whenever they visit. To make a child smile is to dabble with the power of gods as far as I'm concerned. On occasion, but I prefer not to interfere. Francesca of the High Forest is Archdruid now, and by all accounts, she has proven to be a steady and wise influence. Even Korga may yet find true balance, thanks to her influence. I spend half my days in Ursine form. The children demand it. I had a score of them taking turns riding upon my back just days ago. I'm glad they are so comfortable
Ya
with their
Gölge
father's
Yürek'le biraz
creations.
az diyalog
But
yapmışlar
they must
bence.
learn that
Halsin'le daha böyle bir duygusal gönül ilişkisine girebilirsin tarzı diyaloglar var. Ben onu Gölge
They
Yürek'te
deserve some joy.
beklerdim açıkçası. Bilemedim.
As for roaming, that impulse has dwindled, I must admit.
Bu arada
Perhaps
dostlar
because I
bu
have
final
found
bölümü
where I
dedim
am
ama
meant to
bir
be.
şeye bakacağım ben. Belki bu konuşmaları
As did I, but
sonunda konuşmaları bitirdikten sonra baktım o bitiş kısmında uzun bir hikaye var. 20 dakikalık falan. Bu bölümü bölerim. Bir bölüm daha gelir bundan sonra.
Even at a ripe old age. Before you go, I have something for you. Just a little keepsake, really. Do you remember how I told you I like to whittle? I made this.
Mesela Lazel'da çok az diyalog vardı.
Ducks are my favorite, but I thought they were particularly fitting in this case. They are migratory birds, of course, traveling far and wide with the turn of the seasons. Yet, they always find their way back to where they belong. Just like old friends find themselves back in each other's company.
Peki.
Just a token to remember me by. Now, I've taken up enough of your time.
Hakikaten ha, en çok da sen
Enjoy the
vaktimi aldın
festivities.
sanki.
We can speak again later.
Peki. Unutulmuş ördek. Şuymuş. Vay arkadaş. Para da ekmek. Lazel burada. Ha, Tera da burada.
I thought the beard was bad before, and now it's glowing. I wish I could say the same. I thought you had more sense than this, Gale. I thought you had any sense at all. Using your family name was a show of respect. But you've buried that deep in the litter box, haven't you? Godhood. So vulgar. It isn't too late for you. Other gods have given up divinity. You could still come home. To me. To your mother. To everyone who loves you. But you won't. I know you won't. You followed Carsa straight down the road to ruin. And I won't be there to watch, Gale. I suppose this is goodbye. To you, your wretched ambition, and that God's awful thing on your chin.
Kediye dönüştür. Gerek yok ya.
Perhaps I will be again one day. But now, well, not now.
Peki. Buradan bir trip yedik. Laser burada. Onunla konuştuk. Asteryon'la konuşalım. Will'ı bulalım sonra.
Hello, darling. I wasn't sure our withered old friend could live up to his promise. But here we are. I would ask if things have been going well, but you seem to be a literal god, so I'm guessing yes? What's it like? All that power at your fingertips. All those prayers to answer. Yes. I suppose you're above the baser pleasures of life now. A pity. They're often the most fun. Don't get me wrong. I am happy for you. It's just that I'm happy for myself, too. Exactly what I feared. Without the protection of our little friends, I was just an ordinary spawn again. Burning in the sun. I fled the dock and found refuge in the shadows until night fell. Part of me was relieved you left so quickly after the battle. I felt ashamed. Like I'd lost everything. Just as you claimed your victory. I didn't want you to see me like that. But time lent perspective. It wasn't your victory, it was ours. And for all I'd lost, I'd gained so much more. I had freedom, strength, a whole new life. And it was time to live it. I've taken a turn as an adventurer and hero. It turns out no one actually cares about murder, as long as you murder the right people. And apparently I'm rather good at it. Let's not get carried away, darling. I'm still me. Perhaps more me than I've ever been. I did at first. But then I realized. These shadows, this darkness, it's all a part of me. I spent too long defined by what other people did to me. The choices other people made for me. But that's over now. This is who I am. In all my glory, for better and for worse. That being said, I haven't completely given up on returning to the sun. If the opportunity presented itself, well, I wouldn't say no. But until then, I am happy. We've had quite the journey, you and I. From the moment I first threatened you, I knew you were someone special. Someone to take on the world with. I will miss our time together. But then again, maybe this isn't goodbye. So much as it's
Diyaloglar sanki bir şey ya bir DLC ya bir devam oyununda bir şeyler olacakmış gibi hissettiriyor bana dostlar. Bilmiyorum sizler ne düşünürsünüz? Bayağı konuşulacak karakter var.
Relief, your projection holds. It took a dozen Gish's talents, a few stolen psi crystals, and 10 days of effort to conjure it. You can touch, taste, and talk. But your fleshy body is in limbo, the home of the mystical Githzerai. Once the Githzerai were one with the Githyanki, until bloody civil war severed the Gith species. The Githzerai god king Menyar Ad-Gith sent word through the cosmos. He knows of your rebellion, and he's agreed to parley. Should the Githzerai join you, you could vanquish Flagith in a red dragon's blink.
What's the word on the rebellion? I presume you've cracked open more Kithraki heads than you could possibly count.
Oh.
Then you did keep count. I should have known you would. I'm afraid since we last met, my corpse count remains a paltry 0. Unless you count the boars I felled on ducal hunts.
Dük olmuş.
Rebuilding a city requires a politic mind. A sharp soldering blade, not so much. Bargains must be made. Coin must change hands. Tongues must be held in check. Father leaves me to my own devices, though he's got no shortage of advice when I ask for it. Still, I make the decisions I see fit. The ones I think will restore the city to glory. I serve only Baldur's Gate, not a devil of the first hell. I've missed you too. The rush of battles we fought, the heart-to-hearts, the nights around the fire, the comfort of knowing I didn't
Bak buna da yürüyecek ha.
alone. If I had to do it all over again, and I'd rather not, to be clear, I can't imagine not having you at my side. Father's very well, and back in his element, commanding the flaming fist with as brave a heart as ever, and with nary a scolding or lashing. The likes of Gortash can bend people's minds with a few chosen words. No tadpole needed. Bane's chosen primed the fist for a war they weren't meant to win. He convinced them there was an assassin hiding in every shadow, that cruelty was the correct answer to crisis. With a few exceptions, Father's pardoned every last fist. If my forgiveness not be Tyr's will, so be it. I shall forgive them all the same. His words, not mine. He still believes in the bow and the blade, but he's teaching the fist a new lesson. Valor is found not in the wounds you inflict, but in the lives that you have bettered. May they all take it to heart. Never. The hexes and eldritch blasts, losing them took getting used to. They left behind a cold abyss where fire once raged. So I stoked a new one. Now the burning comes from within me, not from the depths of Avernus. Ah, so the god of ambition has had his eye on me. I'm flattered, old chum. I like to think I've had a healing touch. Baldur's Gate rises again, brick by brick, stone by stone. Which isn't to say I've gone without opposition. The people know me as one of the champions who saved their beloved city. They know Ravengard blood flows through my veins. The patriarchs, the aristocracy, the councils of Waterdeep and Arm, their arms aren't so wide open. Still, there's no friction that can't be greased with a sly promise or a proposition. Disbanded, to be formed anew. I don't expect a soldier or street sweeper to see through the schemes of a tyrant like Gortash. But the city's lords and ladies were all too eager to abandon their oaths and bend the knee. My father, Older Ravengard, is now Grand Duke of the Triad, Keeper of the Fist. Cordula Eltan is the Duke of the Sea Tower, a legacy reborn. And I am Will Ravengard, Grand Duke of the Worm, Heart of the Gate. We will yet be four. Until such time and after, we will enact the will of the People's Parliament. Baldur's Gate is nothing without its citizens, both in the upper and lower. Our duty is to them, and only them. The jewel of the coast will shine ever bright.
Baldur's Gate şehri hakkında da bilgi alıyoruz bu arada. İşte tam olarak bu diyalogların bu kadar uzun süreceğini bildiğim için dostlar, bir önceki bölümü biraz kısa kestim. Bakın şimdiden 45 dakikayı geçtik. Daha da bitmediler yani. Bazı arkadaşlar sevmeyecektir. Ama ben seviyorum bu tip diyaloglar okumayı.
Or waste a single drop of wine for that matter. I plan on downing half a bottle myself. Oops, did I say half a bottle? I meant half a dozen.
Peki. Risk'le konuştuk, şununla konuştuk. Gölge Yürek burada. Burada başka konuşulacak. Kim var? Kimse kalmadı galiba dostlar. Neymiş ya Baldur'un Sesi gazetesi? Oku. Oo. Gördünüz mü? Gazete okumak isteyenler için başlığı kısaca gösterdim. Ve şuralarda bir yerlerde bir sandığımız olacaktı. Şu gazeteleri bir başlıkları okuyun diye göstereceğim. Burada da bize buraya gelemeyen şeylerden mektuplar var dostlar. Bunları da kısaca göstereceğim. Böyle okumak isteyenler için. Ben bunları arka planda tek tek okuyacağım dostlar. Babasından Will'in bir mektup gelmiş. Hatırlıyor musunuz? İksirci Hatun. Peki. Sebastian. Sebastian da bu 170 yıl evvelinde Astarion'un kaçırdığı vampir. Hatırladınız mı? Hiç öpülmemiştim falan filan muhabbeti geçen vampir. Oh, Elminster. Peki. Bayağı kişiden gelmiş. Ya tüm müttefiklerimizden açıkçası. Demon. Nocturne diye birinden gölge yüreğe mi gelmiş o? Vos'tan da gelmiş. Peki. Okumak isteyenler için yavaşça gösteriyorum dostlar. Durdurup okuyabilirsiniz. Umut. Vay vay vay vay. Cehennemden bile mektup gelmiş dostlar. Peki. Marina. Ethel teyzeden kurtardığımız hanım kardeşimiz. Vay vay vay vay. Zevlor. Peki. Burada daha fazla mektup olabilirdi. Bazı karakterler öldü. Bende dostlar. Ve İmparator. Son olarak. Burada başka konuşulacak birileri öne Var mı, unuttum mu, hiçbir fikrim yok. Milil'le bir konuşalım bakalım. Milil kimmiş? Hmm. Aa, diriltmiş demek ki bunu. Ha. Aa, bu da tanrıymış. Yeni bir bestesi varmış, onu dinleyelim. Peki dostlar, buraya bölüm sonu diyorum şimdilik. Dostlar, bir edit geldi, kusuruna bakmayın. Oyunun son anındaki seslerde bir sıkıntı yaşamışım. Yani anlamadım. Zaten göreceksiniz, o kısmı da bir editleyeceğim. Kupaların açıldığı kısmı. Orada göreceksiniz. Burada çürüğün sesi falan çıkmadı. Anlamadım. Konuşmalar falan duyulmadı. Oyunun sonunda o kredi ekranındaki müzikler falan da duyulmadı. Neyse, yapacak bir şey yok. Kupaların açıldığı ekrana da göstereceğim sizlere zaten. Şimdi
If thou could only see the paths of fate untaken, thy mind would surely break. Be glad of thy chosen path. It is, after all, thine. Enjoy the revelry of the day. Thou deservest at least that much. What indeed? Prick up thy ears and listen. The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready, for thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving. to you.
Ve unutulmuş diyarın kahramanı. Meter Bey'ini öldür. Saltık iri başlarını yok et, günü kurtar. Kritik vuruş. Oyunu taktisyen modda bitir kupası. Bitirdik. Seramorfoz. Bir zihin yüzene dönüş. Neter Bey'ini yen. En büyük fedakarlığı yap. Ve oyunu bitir kupası. Son olarak da. Dostlar. Bir maceranın daha sonuna geldik. Bana bu macerada eşlik eden herkese sonsuz teşekkürler. Aramıza yeni katılan herkese de sonsuz teşekkürler. Elimden geldiğince diğer sonları da tetiklemeye çalışacağım. Oyun hakkında ne düşünüyorsunuz? Sizce yılın oyunu ödülünü hak ediyor mu? Bence sonuna kadar hak ediyor. Evet, bazı eksiklikleri vardı. Kalabalık savaşlardaki yavaş mekanik, zaten oyunun mekaniği yavaş. Sıra tabanlı sistem olmasından kaynaklı. Biraz can sıkabiliyordu. Ama buna rağmen hikaye örgüsü, hikaye derinliği, bölüm tasarımları, yani karakterlerin, tanıştığınız en böyle saçma yan karakterin bile arka plan hikayesinin olmasıyla falan, yani dolu dolu bir oyun oynadım. Gerçekten müthiş bir keyif alarak oynadım. Oyunun müziklerine zaten söylenecek hiç laf yok. Görselliği gerçekten tatmin ediciydi. Yani bunun dışında aklıma pek bir şey gelmiyor ama kesinlikle sıra tabanlı bir RPG nasıl olurun en güzel örneklerinden bir tanesiydi Baldur's Gate 3. Umarım seriden sizler de keyif almışsınızdır. Benden şimdilik bu kadar diyorum. Yeni maceralarda, yeni serilerde görüşene dek hepiniz hoşça kalın. Kendinize çok iyi bakın. Kanala hala abone değilseniz sağ alttan bir yerden kanala abone olmayı, ayrıca videoyu beğeni ve yorum yapmayı unutmayın lütfen.
There thou art, the dead three. Thy faces gods, thy actions barely worthy of the name. Didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed? Didst believe I would not notice? Thou sought to bolster thy strength by taking away the souls of mortals. But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fools, everyone. The supplication of Bane, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel. Felled by mortals, I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.